Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Noisy Neighbours podcast, the Monday evening pod. We're doing United. Christian, have you had a good weekend?
Oh, yeah. In the end, mate, we got there, didn't we? We both got there. Limped over the line.
Yeah, looking terrible, aren't we? We've just seen the draw, so yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm sure everyone listening to this knows both United and City did make it through somehow.
Yeah.
We'll get to City later, and obviously there's a few more big games coming up for City. United thankfully have a week off, so I'm not being put through any hell till Sunday, which is feels quite a long way off.
Are you on a warm weather training camp like Arsenal?
Oh god, they're hilarious. Them lot. they
all gone.
lost in the third round to 10 Man United, and they've got treated to a trip to Dubai.
I know. I wonder what United are doing for getting through it last minute. A slabhead treat them all to Magaluf or something.
I don't even know. So yeah, United beat Leicester at home on Friday night 2-1. Terrible game again, and this is just not sort of ending really. These performances are not getting any better. I don't think they're going to get any better, and we'll go into why we think that is. The game, we did a watch along with it. The first one remotely, so we tried our best with the tech, but it was good. And obviously, you didn't. I don't think you had a laptop, so we were really trying to wing it, but it was good.
Literally.
So yeah, I mean, what can you say about United? I mean, they just stink the gaff out in these cup competitions and get through.
Do you think where would you rank that among your performances this season?
I'd say it reminded me of Southampton, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Really poor game at home against a team in the relegation zone and scraped through. Obviously, this was very lucky because the winner shouldn't have counted. And if VAR was in place, it wouldn't have done, or a competent linesman. But we'll get to VAR. So yeah, the performance. I mean, I suppose the headline again is the frailties at the back, really, and just another. Every goal we concede, I can't remember the last time somebody scored a goal against us, and it was like just sit back and applaud. Every single one. Just think. You don't even have to think that far back. Think of Palace, the Palace game at the weekend. The first goal, the second one was a counter attack. First one, set piece. It's like Sunday League, right? Looping header off the crossbar, rebounding.
There's a lot of unforced errors.
What was Friday night? A cutback penalty.
That was that scrappy one, wasn't it?
Hits it straight at Onana. He fucking flips it up, and it's again another rebound. Why is Manchester United conceding off rebounds like this much? It's just ridiculous. The defense is just shit. I don't even know how else to put it. I don't. Maguire's fucking terrible. Euro is doing a bit better, but I mean, I'm not. I mean, I assume Euro is now a starter, so we've got to we've got to grade him as a starter, because if he doesn't improve, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with this back three.
Well, especially with Martinez, his injury, you've got no choice, have you? He's got to play every game.
He's got to play, which I suppose in a way you could say, well, at least we're going to get a proper look at him rather than these half an hour cameos here and there, and then you're in, then you're out, and stuff like that. And he's left centre back, he's at right centre back. But yeah, I mean,
I've got a thing on that, Alex. What's your opinion on this? Because I feel like Pep's done this with us a lot, and I think I'm not saying this is the biggest of our issues, but I certainly don't think it helps the back line, and especially when they're struggling for confidence. The chopping and the changing of the back line, I don't get this where it's come from, because back in the day, you knew your best defenders, and they would play pretty much every minute, barring your dross games where you could possibly pull them out, or when the game's done, you could possibly put a young lad out. Why are we seeing like tactical centre-back changes mid-game? That it does not help anyone.
I don't know. This has come from this 5 substitutions, hasn't it? Because, but even if I had 10 subs, I would be leaving the back line alone unless somebody got injured or was having an absolute rotten game. They're like fresh legs.
Having a Kusanov.
It's Kusanov. I mean, look, the starting 11 from Amorim it's probably his most mental decision. I know people are angry about Mainu up front. I wasn't as annoyed I was annoyed that he didn't play Mainu number 10, but the him playing a midfielder up front is just because the two actual strikers we've got are not very good. So I didn't think that was as bad as people made out. I was a bit annoyed. Mainu was shifted, and then again he's back to number 10, and he wasn't very good again. But Patrick Dorgu comes in, the first left back we've signed, starting left back since Luke Shaw, really, and Malassi was never a starter, and he plays him on the right. And Dallo keeps his place at left wing back. I can't work out the sense to this. I'm hoping you can, but what is the sense? He said Dorgu's played there before, but I mean,
Alex, I said it mid game. I was like, why am I watching this? You've signed a guy for 30 million. I'm not saying it's a huge deal, but why would you bring him in? And the first opportunity to give the guy a run out, you play him out of position. And it's not like, here's the thing, right? It's not as if you're making... I'd understand if you had a solid player in his position, but then again, why would you fucking sign him if you did? However, you don't. So why are you making weight, putting him out of position to make way for a guy who we know is shit in that position?
I don't know. I don't know. And then he hooked him at half time, and I thought Dorgu was quite good. I thought he was okay.
Has anything come out about that? I mean, I'd had a few sherbets on the stream. I don't know. I've not seen. Has he been injured
really,
or?
I couldn't. I'm really struggling to watch. You know when you're starting to lose faith. And look, I'm not saying Amorim can't get my faith back, but right now I haven't got any faith in him. It's just as simple as that. And like when Ten Hag was just like doing. He was getting arsey in interviews about. Remember when the guy basically said your midfield can just get walked through and you've conceded the most shots in Premier League history, and he was just going 2 trophies, eh? 2 trophies, eh? It's not to that degree where I'm pissed off with Amorim, but it's just like these post match interviews, and he speaks well. I'm just starting to think, do you actually know what you're on about? It's like it's starting, like what I said to people about Lenny Yoro, really. It's like you're all telling me he's really good.
Yeah.
But what are you actually basing that on? I was just thinking the other day, I was like, we've just basically got Sporting Lisbon's manager at Man United. I mean, there's no guarantee this guy's a genius or anything. I mean, he could just be a numpty. So I'm just going to sort of take him for face value and ignore his impressive interview work, which he can speak very good English and he is very charming, but mate, what the hell are you doing with some of these decisions? And then the subs are just, like you said, chaotic. I just don't know what is going on at this club.
I think the word to describe Amorim's reign so far at United would just be erratic.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is as well, he could have just had a fairly straightforward ride to the summer because, look, I mean, I don't know many people that would have had a go at Amorim because of the players. People are having a go at Amorim now because of other things, which I think is fine, and I am one of them. But as far as I'm aware, if Amorim had come in and done what he thinks best, but then also tried to change things, also tried to, not pick players out of position intentionally and do weird stuff, I think the fans would have had his back, at least for the most part, because it's not his fault. He signed one player that was a left back. I mean, at the end of the day, if Ten Hag and Ollie, them two particularly got 400 mil, and then Ten Hag got 600 mil. You can't be having a pop at a guy who's had 0. Okay, 30 mil on Patrick Dorgu, but he's not helping himself. And I've been saying this now for a few weeks. It's ignorant. Again, another one, 1-1 at home to Leicester. We're going into extra time with a back three centre backs who aren't that good on the ball. It's not like we've got Martinez and, well, I mean, Mazraoui's not great, is he, either on it? But neither's De Ligt. We don't really have 2 centre halves that are good on the ball, and one of them's just tore his ACL. So now we've got none. And the fullbacks aren't, well, we're not seeing enough of Dorgu. Obviously, he looks a good athlete. And I felt a bit sorry for him, really. So I didn't understand that sub at all. Obviously, the game itself, Garnacho came on for Dorgu and he got man of the match. And for me, the standards are they're just so low at this club. And the fact that he's getting man of the match for running round and just losing it here and there, skying shots and missing crosses.
Missing big chances.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We've lost all standards now. Everyone, the fan base have lost standards. Honestly, I don't think some fans realise that we're bottom half. I really don't, because I
agree.
like when I hear people saying good things about certain players and potential, or he's going to be good, or he is good right now. I'm sat there and I'm thinking, well, we are bottom half though. Even whoever you like, what's going wrong then? Why are we bottom half? Because it's got to be someone's fault. 11 players are playing every week, and you're saying you like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Exactly.
It's just, I don't understand how you can. I mean, look, Garnacho getting man of the match was probably because everyone else was shit, but it does summarise, like the Twitter reaction is, he's knuckled down and look at the performances we're getting. He was rubbish. He's fucking shit.
What performances are we seeing because I'm just watching this with my eyes, and all I'm seeing yet again is the same old Garnacho struggles to beat a man. When he does get in behind, he misses, and that is all I'm seeing. Or he struggles. I tell you what, another thing that's worrying with him, when he does get in a good position, his decision making is so fucking bad.
Yeah, it is.
He can't. I tell you what, his vision is really poor for an inside forward, which is pretty much what he is. He's not an out and out winger. He's pretty much an inside forward, and he has no vision whatsoever.
No, he doesn't, and he lacks physical attributes that me and you've broke down in detail. Really, Obviously the direct pace is a fact, the balance is a fact, the low center of gravity. He's not 2-footed. I mean, these are just all facts. So I'm sorry if there's anybody out there that loves Garnacho or thinks he's great. I am not listing things that are opinion based here. These are physical attributes that the lad that he lacks, and he's not a very accurate shooter and he can't cross. So what you're going to get is he's going to cut the odd ball back. It's going to fall to a striker and they might score, a la the goal on Friday. He cut it back, Højlund back heel, deflection, Xerxes tapping. Every other cutback came to the edge of the box and no fucker was there. Now, you could say, why is nobody coming on to that? But my counter argument to that is, if you're a winger, why are you cutting it back if no one is there? Come back, retain the ball, don't just lose it. These players lose the ball.
Yeah, but it's the same people that are saying fucking Højlund has no service, that are then loving Garnacho and saying he's pulling it back and no one's there. Well, whose fault is it then? Because I tell you what, one's at fault for one's at fault for one, one's at fault for the other. So make your mind up. They can't both be great at the jobs, because ultimately neither of them are performing.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably spent enough talking about Garnacho. I think in January we went into that in a lot of detail, and the club should have sold him to Napoli. I don't believe Chelsea were actually in for him. If they were, the offer was never really broadcast. Napoli were in for him. Apparently, he couldn't agree terms in Napoli. I don't know if I'm buying that. But
I feel like Chelsea just inquire about everyone. Like, did you see they inquired about Nico O'Reilly at City? It's just mad. Like, their scouting is just all over the shop. It's just anyone and everyone. Scattergun, man.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, coming on to another no-goal performance from Rasmus Højlund. He's now not scored. He's got 0 goals in 14 games. His last Premier League goal was I think it was early December against Nottingham Forest, a rebound. This is absolutely terrifying now. He can't score against shit teams. We are still seeing it on Twitter, and some of my close friends say it about the lack of service. The thing with Højlund is I don't want to talk about the stats, because the stats, if you really wanted to go there with the service, you can. But what I would say is, forget the stats and look at everything else. Now, is he doing everything else to the standard of a United striker, of what we should be doing? Yeah, I appreciate we're 14th, but he's a big contributor to that. It's like, to me, forget the goals. The goals aren't coming. He doesn't look like he's a goal scorer, whether he gets service or not. So what about everything else?
Yeah, his bare credentials are they're not good enough.
He's awful in the air. His touch is just all over the place. I mean, there was a passage of play on Friday where he lost the ball twice in about 15 seconds. It's just not good enough. And this is. And did you see the one when he turned someone on the halfway line, and he actually got away? And it was when I said he looks like he's running with 2 carry bags in his hand.
Yeah.
And and he's all over the place. He's like this. His arms are everywhere. He's trying to hold people
Potatoes
off.
are falling out the bags.
Yeah. The shots going everywhere, and then what did he do? Did he get blocked or whatever? But he was away. Now, I've got some very close friends who tell me he's very good at running in behind, and we don't utilise it. Well, he actually made that opportunity for himself, and nothing came of it. He had 40 yards clear space in front of him, and he's too busy trying to lug his weekly shop home in both hands. So what can you do?
Alex, what confuses me, right? It does sort of piss me off, like with the people that are trying to shoehorn these guys, and I have it in my own club, and I just don't understand. These are the same people who have seen class strikers. They know what a class striker is. They've seen the Dimitar Berbatovs of the world. They've seen the Carlos Tevez. They've seen the Sergio Aguero. They have seen world-class players. Why are they looking at this with some weird, like, tinted glasses when they know that if you watch that guy, he's not very good? And to be honest, I don't think he's Prem level.
I agree with you. I mean, what I would say is, so if people think we're wrong, and I know that people do, or certainly there's a section of Twitter that do this. I see it every so often. There'll be a Hoyland tweet that will get 12,000 likes, and I'm like, wow, okay. So there's 12,000 people that agree with this service stuff. Some of my close friends think it. What I would say is, if they truly believe that Hoyland is going to be a very good player for United, and I mean, I can't even say the words title challenge because my brain won't allow me to go there. Yeah. Let's say you think he can get 17 league goals, right? And I'm really trying to stretch to that, to be honest, at the moment. He's not scored in 14 games.
Yeah.
What I will sort of, I'll have a little bit more of an understanding if somebody says he's going to be good, he's going to get goals, but at the minute the service is shit. I want them people to be saying, I want Garnacho, Ahmad, and Bruno Fernandes to be sold straight away because our striker cannot score. If you truly believe that the service is this bad, Hoyland can't score, you need to be the loudest person on earth about the other three supporting players, creative players. And I tell you
You're
what,
so right.
I'd chuck Mainu in there as well because he's a creative player and he's now playing a number 10. But you know what will happen? A lot of the fan base who will say Hoyland needs better service. They like Ahmad, they like Mainu. Some of them like Garnacho, and a lot of them like Bruno Fernandes. Well, which you cannot have this both ways.
Yeah, you can't have one without having the other, unfortunately. So if you want to peddle one's narrative, unfortunately, you're not able to do the same with the other one because one's to the other's detriment. So make your mind up, boys. It is what it is.
Look, I mean, I tell you what, I'll go there then. Right, Hoyland needs better service. Well, we need to sell every single creative player then because our striker has got 2 league goals and it's the 10th of Feb. Lisandro Martinez has got 2 league goals. So if we are talking that the service is fucking dirt, then basically, well,
I'll tell you what, I'd be interested to see, Alex, in terms of other strikers in the Prem, where he ranks. So if you were to go through the lower team strikers, I'd be interested to see where he ranks among them. If they've got, if he's one of the worst goal scorers in terms of that, because I think
it'll only be Southampton's forward, won't it? Because like Liam Delap will have a few by now. I mean, Wolves have got Cunha, so he'll definitely.
Vardy, I imagine, has bagged a couple. So
Vardy will be well above him. He will be probably second. Maybe he might be tied. I mean, Adam Armstrong might have a couple, might have 3. He could be the lowest scoring striker in the league. He's got less than Xerxes. So
what does that tell you? So then, mate, at the end of the day, right? So in hearing what I've just said, if you were to go, would them same fans that are saying Hoyland is, he's going to be a top Premier League striker, would any of them guys say we want Ipswich playmakers, we would switch out our playmakers for theirs? I don't think they would. Would they say we want Leicester's playmakers? No, they wouldn't. So they therefore make your decision then. Who is the issue within the squad?
I like it. No, I really like that. Yeah. No, let's look. Anybody watching this really likes Hoyland, please comment on the video and let us know because like my brother has just very well detailed there. If Rasmus Hoyland is struggling so much because the service is so bad, then let's swap Ahmad, Mainu, and Garnacho for 3 of Ipswich's attackers.
Yeah, let's
Our,
go and get
Wo-
Amari
our
Hutchinson.
Wolves attackers.
Yeah,
We're not even talking about Bournemouth here because we probably would do that. But I know for a fact a lot of this fan base love Ahmad and they love Mainu.
yeah,
Garnacho
yeah,
splits opinion a little bit, but although a lot of people do like him, I mean, fucking hell, 3 weeks ago, everyone was saying don't sell him unless we get 70 mil, which they must have
yeah,
been smoking crack on that night. But so yeah, man, it was a great point, and that's the thing with Hoyland. If you think he needs better service, then let's sell the rest of them. And I'm including Mainu and Ahmad in there because they're playing every game. So
yeah.
where do you draw the line? What do you want to go and get a full host of creative players in the summer? What is it going to be? Is it unless we sign Musiala and Florian Wirtz? Are you always going to have these excuses for Hoyland? Because the same people wouldn't be sticking up for Martial. They wouldn't be sticking up for Weghorst. They wouldn't be sticking up for even Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's so true.
why are you applying? You could apply the no service. What you're basically saying is we could play anybody number 9 for United. If 2 goals is okay, then what you're saying is we could put anybody up there.
Yeah,
Put me up there then. Do you know what I mean? We'll just say I ain't got good service then till the summer because we haven't. Well, apparently we haven't. It's pointless. It's you've got to analyse things with a. It's just a lazy take, in my opinion. And look, if there's people watching this who think it is a service thing, please comment below. Let us know, and we'll
mate. The thing
we'll
is,
certainly discuss it.
I tell you what, though, you are right with your fan base because we've even seen with a few comments and some people's opinions, especially United fans, they do say, "Listen, if you put Erling Haaland in that team, he wouldn't score." Now, I think that is a serious concern. You have got people in your fan base that genuinely think that,
Yeah.
because it's nonsensical. It is absolute fucking brain dead, to be honest.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, so what are they saying
There's
then?
no evidence to back that up. There's absolutely no evidence.
If we put Ruud van Nistelrooy, prime Ruud van Nistelrooy in United's team, are people saying he wouldn't score?
Yeah, and also, like you said, it just works. Well, why are we doing that for the Hoyland narrative? You could just put anyone there. Why have you got Hoyland there then? Go and have anyone out the fucking academy then. Because if he's got no service and that's why he's shit, then why aren't you changing it? Why don't you just put someone else? Put anyone in there.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Also,
You might as well play an extra midfielder, to be fair, because at least you'll have an extra body who's better on the ball. Because if you're saying service is the issue, what's the point having a fucking beanpole up front, which the ball bounces off him? Have a midfielder in there, which, to be fair, he has been doing of late, so maybe that is where Amorim's going with it. He thinks, well, I'd rather just have an extra body. We might have more control.
Oh, he's signing a striker in the summer if he gets to that point.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's there's absolutely no doubt about that, and I don't blame him. Obviously, he's sticking up for him. There is a graphic on Twitter. I might try and get it on the video. So there was a graphic going around before the game on Friday. I don't think I sent it to you actually. It's Hoyland Vardy comparison. Where it's like a pie chart and it points out different things. So it got like attacking actions, passes received, aerial percentage, non-penalty goals, expected goals, passes into the box, and expected assists. And it gives you a bit of a line graph, and it's one's in blue, one's in pink. So yeah, I'll try and post it. Really interesting, and I want everyone to look at this. So there's 2 things on here that I really want to talk about. We've been through the goals. We know Vardy's got more. Aerial percentage, right? Vardy, aerial percentage, 67.6%. Successful aerial duels won.
Yeah.
So just over 1 in 2, which you would expect. Big Rasmus, 6'3", Brute Hoyland, 13.7% aerial. This is nothing to do with goals, by the way, so don't be giving me fucking service abuse. His area, and you know what? I just want anyone to listen to this. Has anybody ever seen him win a header? I mean, forget score a header. I don't know if he ever has scored a header. Has he ever won one? He never even heads it.
I feel like if he did win a header, it just bounce into the top stand or something.
Yeah.
His control over the ball is so bad.
Yeah, exactly. Then we've got the real interesting thing on this is passes received. So Vardy in one of the worst teams. I know we're shit, but Leicester are legit relegation.
Yeah.
Vardy receives 8.2 passes. Hoyland's 20.7. So he's getting twice as many passes as Vardy, and he's got way less goals. and his expected assists are below Vardy's as well. So, I mean, like, this comes back to your point. That to me says that Rasmus Højlund's getting better service than Jamie Vardy, who's 38, and Jamie Vardy's doing more with the ball and more with his duels, and he's winning more duels. Jamie Vardy's 38 for a team that might get relegated. So,
exactly.
I'll try and post on the video. If not, go on Twitter and have a look at it. It's a really good graphic, and it really does pop a little bit on sort of the real sort of comparison. And I think it's a fantastic way to look at this, because Jamie Vardy's 38, was fantastic. He's now, well, he's 38, you know what I mean? And still in the Prem, fair play to the guy. But Rasmus Højlund's 22. He's meant to be coming into his prime very soon. And he's behind. Like I said, if you truly believe that Amad Diallo, Mainu, Garnacho, and Bruno Fernandes are worse than Leicester's creative talent, then fine, I will accept your argument. If I'm guessing you don't believe that, then you have to look at the striker. I've just, have a look at the graphic. It's going to be on the screen, hopefully, for everyone to see. So, yeah, obviously you can have a look as well, Christian, but I just thought it was really interesting. I mean, was there much else really on Højlund that we can go into?
It's one of them though with Højlund. As soon as summer rolls round and your boy goes in for Gyökeres, and if you do get him, well, we'll see how many loyal Højlund supporters are still saying, "Oh, well, if he'd have had more service, he'd have been better." No, if Gyökeres starts and he scores 2 in his first game, no one will ever talk about that guy again.
Well, he's equaled.
And this is there you go. Yeah. But this is what I mean. I just wouldn't, mate. I wouldn't even waste your time on it, because it's just idiots. And then, well, you'll get to the summer, you will sign an actual striker who can play football, and everyone will forget about him, and they'll move on to that one. And that's just, mate. But that is football for you. So
yeah, exactly. And
it is fickle, isn't it?
Time's going to play out here. So obviously. I don't think people realise how low 2 goals are. It's people score 2 goals. People get hat tricks. If anybody scores a hat trick, they have scored more than Højlund in the Prem. Amad Diallo scored 3 against Southampton the other week in 10 minutes.
It's not. But the thing is, Alex,
it's 2 goals.
It's not just his. It's not just the main thing for me. Isn't his goal scoring?
No,
I know that's mad, because obviously he is a striker. It is ultimately his job. Yeah. However, see, I don't really get at Jesus that much, because I do actually think the guy's a good player. If you watch him on the ball, he is really good, and he is good in a front three where he plays that like Firmino role. Don't get me wrong; he requires 2 very good wingers who can put the ball in the net. But ultimately, he is good for the team, and they do look better with him. Yeah. However, here's the thing with Højlund. You watch him play, he doesn't make anyone better, and he's shit himself. I don't know what anyone else is watching that I'm missing. He's not scoring, and he's shit. He's not scoring, and he looks terrible. There is no incentive for any Man United fan to stick up for him.
It's depressing.
You just call a spade. Move on. You've got to say, at the end of the day, we're going to get to the summer and we'll try and get someone in who's fucking of some sort of level that they can play in the Premiership.
Look.
Imagine how much better you'd be, bro. What do you think? Right, if you decide Ivan Toney, even.
Oh, God, it'd be night and day. I mean, Christian,
exactly.
We've been through the... I mean, I suppose just while we're on, should we just have a very, very quick look at Southampton's top scorers this season?
Go on.
Because...
If you're going to tell me bloody Armstrongs...
Is it even Armstrong? God, I don't even know, but...
I don't think he starts anymore, but he is still there, and I think.
Joe Aribo's got 3. Is he a forward?
Yeah, he's like... Yeah, he is. He came from Rangers, didn't he?
Okay. Adam Armstrong's got 2. So if Adam Armstrong is the 9, then Højlund is tied with him. I'm not even looking up the rest of them, because we know Delap's on more. We know Cunha's definitely on more. Yeah. So, and then your Matez and Evan Nielsen's will be comfortably well above him. So, okay, so Joe Aribo has got 3. Number 7, I don't even remember him playing.
Alex, what was Rashford on?
Oh, I think he was only on 3 or 4, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah. I think Xerxes on 3, though, isn't he? I think so. He's not... I mean, this is another thing. I mean, Amad Diallo's on 6. So... Yeah. It's just, I mean, look, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's got 2 league goals this season. That's how low it is.
Alex, what do you think is... I just wanted your opinion on this, right? So I know you are You are quite a bit of an Ahmad fan, aren't you? You do like him.
Yeah.
When you're watching United and suddenly you've gone from this guy, I mean, how long ago was he on loan? He was on loan at Rangers himself, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So how long
Yeah.
ago? And then
He's been all
did
right.
he do a year at
Sunderland.
Sunderland?
Yeah.
So you are talking, right? How long ago was he on these loans? Was it last year or was it the year before that he was at
No, it
Sunderland?
weren't. He was at United last year because he should have
So
been
it was the
playing
year
over.
before last year, right? So the year
Probably the
before
year
last year,
before
that
he
guy
was
was playing in the
Sunderland.
Championship. He's
Yeah.
now the guy you look to on every single attack to try and bail you out. And it's like,
It's
how have Man
insane.
United,
Yeah.
how have Man United that have spent this much money,
Yeah.
that are nearly at the top of the net spend table, how are they looking to a guy
Yeah.
like Ahmad? And that's no disrespect to him. I'm not giving my viewpoint on his abilities or anything like that. I'm just saying, how could a club that have spent this much money be looking at him and him only and relying on him?
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and it's just the constant mismanagement of this club that, yeah, I mean, it's look, you don't even have to get into the whole of the recruitment. Amad Diallo is a right winger. We spent 75 million on Jadon Sancho, and we spent 90 million on Anthony, who play the same position.
Yeah.
They are both currently being paid by Manchester United to pay for other clubs.
Yeah.
Both players are shit.
Yeah,
One
fully
signed
agree.
by Ollie, just a ridiculous buy. Probably one of Ollie's worst. And we will get to Sancho. I want to touch on him. And then Anthony was just a shocking buy from fucking Ten Hag. But Ten Hag generally signed awful anyway. It was kind of on topic for Ten Hag.
Alex,
So
just before you move on this, I just wanted to say this. Have you seen that video where it's like nod if you think someone's better, and it was like skill dribbler or something like that with Jadon Sancho? Have you seen it?
yeah, yes,
Right.
I have. It's
Now,
just
right, okay, yeah, we don't even need to go into how mad it is. Like some of the players that he claims he was better than. But anyway, just in general, I've heard a big thing at my club, and a lot of other clubs, in fact. Liverpool's a big one for this. That they don't only just look at the player's ability; they look at everything about the player, their personality, how they would act within the squad, do they fit, how they would act outside of the dressing room. Now, I tell you what, Man United must do fucking no research on players at all, because Sancho is an absolute knobhead, and Anthony is a fucking idiot. Like some of the shit he's got up to, and in his personal life and things like that. We won't get into it, but the characters that you invest in, dude, there is no background checks at all. And then it is detrimental to the squad. I'm not saying it's a huge thing. Look, you want good players, but you also don't want a team of fucking Balotellis that think they're better than they are, and they're actually quite shit.
Exactly, and we've not only, like you said, just signed the bad personalities, because you could say, well, Pogba wasn't the best personality to have in the squad, but Pogba had 10, 12 game stretches where he was our best player.
Yeah.
Like, I know, and we spoke about Martial recently. Martial and Pogba, okay, not the greatest mentality sort of players, and not sort of, you wouldn't look at them and go, God, I want them in the dressing room. But they did have stretches of fantastic games. Like, certainly Pogba, I think when Ollie came in, he had like a 15-game stretch when he was legitimately one of the best players in the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, what we've done is we've got shit characters. Okay, well, we've always had a few of them, like we just said, two of them, Martial and Pogba. But now they're actually shit at football as well. So Sancho's fucking crap. We know he's crap. His stats came from shit defending in the Bundesliga. Anybody watched him, me and you said it in 2019. Lacks 1v1 ability, not got great pace, not got great feet. Just another bit of a Garnacho, really. He ain't going to be blowing past people. And we're seeing it now at Chelsea, which is fantastic. I can't believe they got duped, even for 25 mil. They think that's good. It's 25 mil wasted. You can't do anything.
No,
Garnacho's the same, and I like wingers, and you do as well. I love brilliant wingers, and
there's nothing more exciting.
Fast, pacey, direct winger, skillful winger. I'm not even talking about the obvious ones. I remember that season, Douglas Costa. Is it Douglas Costa at Bayern?
Yeah, he was a baller. Yeah,
him and Robin were ridiculous.
He was even good at Juve as well. He had a couple of good seasons there.
And it pains me. I have to sit there. Your team has signed well, up until now. But I do you know how frustrating it is to watch your team spend 2 years chasing Jadon Sancho when you're sat there as a fan and you go, I don't rate him.
Yeah, no, mate. Well,
and I get it again in
Alex. I told you, obviously, we talk every day, And a long time before we ever started this, I said, look, Alex, I watched this guy in the EDS at City and I think he's shit.
Yeah.
And I wasn't just saying it because Man United were going to inevitably buy him or I was jealous that he left. I genuinely didn't rate the guy.
Yeah.
And also, if you watched his highlights, he even didn't look that good on YouTube. Now, I tell you what, if you don't look good on YouTube and you're a winger, fuck me, that's bad. But just one thing before we move on from the personality thing, Alex. So normally, like you said, a team can have one or two. Don't get me wrong, most teams do. And will always have a couple of, characters in there. However, if you look at that Man United squad, you are struggling to find the good characters. So if I was to look at it, I'd go Martinez, I'd go Maguire, I'd go Ahmad. Mainu, I haven't really seen enough of, and he's been missing this year, so I'll leave him out completely. Yeah. But I would give you them three guys. Other than that, I think you are full of really bad characters. Now that, mate, is a massive issue.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I mean, there's two things with the recruitment. It is about sort of identifying characters that you want in the dressing room. I mean, Keane talks about it all the time. We get the character wrong and the ability wrong. Just like you said, Sancho's a perfect example. He's the most obvious recruitment player for this club post Fergie. Jadon Sancho, 75 mil. Anybody that watched him, I saw Ollie on the overlap, and he went, yeah, well, Jadon likes to play on the left. Well, why did you fucking sign him? We had Martial and Rashford, who were good. They were legitimately good at that time. We were meant to be signing a right winger because Dan James was shit. Mate, do you understand how frustrating it is when even, say, at the time, the argument was, well, Ollie's signing his right winger. That's who he wants, going back the manager. And then you hear it on the overlap and Ollie goes, oh, the problem with Jadon is he wanted to play on the left as well. I'm fucking about to explode as I'm listening to this. And I liked Ollie, but right, I'm sorry, you're being paid. I'm not a football manager. I'm not a scout. I'm nothing. I just do a podcast with my brother. Why can I see it?
Yeah.
Mason Mount, I'm not going to stop talking about this. One of the most mental things I've ever known. Ten Hag, I'm going to go and sell Fred and I'm going to play Mason Mount in centre mid with Bruno Fernandes. We're going to pay 60 million for him. I mean, I spoke to you all that summer. My head is about to explode. I cannot believe that not only a manager of Manchester United is thinking this, the club is not saying no. It's actually worrying. Managers make mistakes all the time, even the best ones. We talk about the best two. Guardiola's made mistakes. Fergie's made mistakes in big games, by the way. But, both of them have had moments in Champions League finals. Fergie in 2011 against Barcelona played 4-4-2. Was just a ridiculous idea with Giggs and Carrick in centre mid, and we got decimated. Not that we could have won anyway, but I'm just saying Guardiola left Rodri out famously against Chelsea, and you lost that game as well. Look, these things can happen. We're talking about you're sitting there with all summer to think about this, and you're identifying shit players to play out of position for mega money. As a fan, it fucking kills me.
I think, Alex, but this is the thing with Man United, and we've seen it. I don't know what the hierarchy is, or the sporting director, or whether, I mean, who even was your sporting director when you were making these stupid signings, the Antonys and.
It was kind of Woodward and Murta, really. They were the ones, and
well,
they weren't really sporting
explains
directors.
it, doesn't it?
They were kind of they were the ones doing the negotiations, so you could say that it was those two.
There is no one, right? So you know your stuff about football, but even the casuals, not many. I'm not having many would have thought that signing of Mason Mount was an intelligent one. The only ones that would have backed that is all fans, all clubs have got him. Them fans like Ty off AFTV who would support.
Anything,
anyone that comes, it could be someone from non-league, but Wenger bought him, tired, go, yeah, it's great. And that is exactly what you'll get with some fans. However, no one realistically thought that was a good buy. So how the fuck did it get done? And not only that, mate, it was like they made you pay more than you wanted as well. Yeah, Chelsea, the cheeky bastards. Yeah.
And just to top it all off, he's physically finished and gets injured all the time. Not that I'm that bothered because he's rubbish, but it's painful, Christian, and that I must admit, I did sort of enjoy a lot of Ollie's reign, and I still like Ollie. Look, Ollie's a good guy, and yeah, I think that he got carried away with the new toy in his head, which was Sancho, and got away from the project that he was building. And like you said, Ollie had a great record against Pep, and he was doing it with worse players than Jadon Sancho. I don't love Sancho, Ollie, you were building something, mate. I know Rashford and Martial fell off, but if you was Ollie and you think, well, I'm going to the Etihad and having the better of Guardiola with Dan James and
Yeah.
Jesse Lingard starting, and you go and spend 75 million on a fucking shit personality and a shit player who doesn't even play on the right.
I think I have a bit of an opinion on the Ollie transfers though, and I'd love to know honestly if he came out with it how much input he genuinely had, because from little things I've heard him say on the overlap, I doubt how much control he actually had over the transfers at the time.
He definitely wanted Sancho, 100%.
Okay, right. Well, fair enough then. That is a
Yeah,
bad one. I feel sorry for him with the Ronaldo situation because
that got messy.
he blatantly got pinned. You know that one was bloody Fergie and Rio Ferdinand ringing him up and saying you can't go to City. Thank God they did.
Look, Fergie's a brilliant mind, but at 78 years old, we should not be listening to him for transfer advice. And
No, that was bad. And I also think, I mean, did you hear the thing where he came out on overlap and he was saying about Haaland and that he wanted United to go and get him,
yeah,
and he would have
hey,
got Haaland would have definitely gone at the time
Ollie was
because
Ollie has a good football brain. I'm not like this isn't a
yeah,
bashing Ollie show. I'm just saying that that one really irked me, but he did do other good things. Ten Hag mostly didn't. So the Mount thing for me is the pinnacle of a whole host of shit ingredients. But I mean, look, the
do you
Mount one to me is just it's insane, isn't it? Let's just call a spade a
know,
spade. Anybody with a football brain and and a pair of eyes knows
yeah.
Mason Mount cannot play centre mid with Casemiro and Fernandes, and this club backed him.
I
60
think yeah,
fucking mil.
mate.
60.
Here's the thing. I think Man United backed Ten Hag more than they've backed most of their managers post Fergie, which is mental because he was the most incompetent, and we could all see it for fucking years. Why, dude? Why were they interviewing other candidates and then they're like, right, do you know what? We won't hire anyone else. What we're going to do is do a complete U-turn and give you a fucking load of money to spend. No, because then when you have to sack him mid-season, the other manager, like poor Amorim, is stuck with a shower of shit that now you're going to struggle to shift on, and you're going to have to give Amorim another 500 million to fix it. And you're going to have to hope he makes more hits than misses, because if he misses on 200 million worth of signings, next year fucking could be relegation.
I know, mate. It's so true. I think that's a really good way to wrap that segment. Really on the recruitment and how we've ended up where we are. And there is something else just on the potential before we sort of move on. And our cousin commented on the last one, Patrick. Shout out Patrick. And he mentioned about, obviously, I've been coming across with the potential stuff quite strongly and my frustrations around it.
Yeah,
And he made a good point about Amad Diallo being probably our best player this season. And he was a quote unquote punt from Atalanta a few
yeah,
years ago. He did the whole loan trip that you mentioned before, and he is now a starter and a good starter. I don't know his ceiling, but
yeah.
he's not the one to whinge about right now. What I would say to that is, I don't mind a punt, and Fergie loved a punt. Fuck me, that guy loved a punt. Cristiano Ronaldo was a punt. We played him once in a friendly and signed him for 12 mil, 17.
Yeah.
Fergie did. Fergie signed Bebe. Fergie signed Obertan. Fergie loved these
Yeah, he
punts.
had a few, didn't he?
But these were 10, 11 mil. You could argue with inflation, Diallo 30 mil, maybe just over a punt. I
Yeah.
just want to talk about
I mean,
Rasmus.
Nani was another one, wasn't he?
Nani was about 17 million because Lisbon were like, well, we've
Is that what you paid for Nani?
served you Ronaldo. I think he was about 16, 17 million, Nani, yeah. And he was a little bit old. I think he was a year older than Ronaldo, or 2 years older, so we got him a little bit later.
Yeah.
Ronaldo was fucking 17, man. So the two biggies for me that I'm banging on about is Yoro and Hoyland. And the reason I don't think they qualify as a punt, and the reason I'm frustrated with them, is Rasmus Hoyland. I've got this off transfermarket.co.uk if anybody wants to have a look. Rasmus Hoyland is the 20th most expensive centre forward in football history, and Lenny Yoro is the 8th most expensive centre back in football history. They aren't punts. They have to work out. What you're doing is you're attaching risk to signings, because if they don't work out, if they don't get to, I'm not even talking good level. These have to be legitimately fucking brilliant. Like, I mean, I'll just list you the players on this list here. I mean, look, Maguire is first. We all know that's a ridiculous signing, but we'll forget that. De Ligt's on here twice. We've got Van Dijk, we've got Ruben Diaz, we've got Laporte, we've got Lisandro Martinez, we've got John Stones in this list.
Yeah.
So you can see the level of some of these. I mean, Van Dijk's one of the best ever. You've got Ruben Diaz, is probably the best, one of the best right now in the world. He's just injured, and John Stones has been amazing as well. So Lenny Yoro is in this category. You know, this isn't your 12 million Bebe over.
You're in the ready-made world-class category, but you're being labelled as a punt, which it's not fair. I do know what you mean. You can't be in both categories. You're either one or the other. And when you're paying that fee, you've got to walk in and be a ready-made player. And ultimately, dude, a lot of these players are. But we're the fucking same at the moment, Alex. We'll get into that later. But
so that's my point, really. And look, I don't want to hammer Yoro too much because I think that it's way too early to judge him, and he is playing in a back three, and I have sympathy for him because he's never played in a back three. Not that I watched fucking Lille, but I know that he played in a back two, and it is a big change. And centre backs don't usually love it because they don't like defending out wide. Simple as that, really. And Yoro is being asked to. And it's not like he's always at right centre back. He was at left centre back, and then he's fucking all over the place. So, but Højlund is a separate one. He's 22 years old, and he's the 20th most expensive striker of all time. So that to me isn't a punt. So yeah, just wanted to mention it. And yeah, the last thing before we wrap up, Christian, Rashford made his Villa debut last night.
Just before you move on to Rashford, right? So just one thing on that, because a lot of people I know will come up with the narrative of, well, it's inflation, you know, this is the new punt, this is the price you got to pay, right? No. Bollocks. Because you should go and watch Brighton and their transfer policies and how many hits they're having, because they go to South America and they dip into that market. They are remarkably successful at doing it as well. Look at us with Julian Alvarez. We keep trying to do it as well. I mean, we've just signed that Echeverry, and, you know, I'm not saying whether they're going to be hits or not, but they are punts because they're only coming in at 11, 12 million. You look at how successful Brighton have been at it. Now, if our clubs, and I put mine in it now because we're doing the same shit, if our clubs now are switching to go and sign a guy that's played 1 year of football in a top league and been pretty average, and then we're going paying 60, 70, 50 million, then that's on us. Yeah, it's not inflation. We're fucking idiots.
Exactly. That's what I was saying on the Southampton watch along when I nearly passed out. Why are we paying? Why are we buying the 20th most expensive striker of all time in Højlund and the 8th most expensive centre-back of all time in Yoro and hoping they become good? Yeah. I want them to be good now. Are we trying to just flex like, wow, look at us. We plucked him out of thin air? Well, you didn't because you spent 85 million. I mean, if anybody came to Atalanta with 85 million, he was gone. You know, they're not stupid. And the same with Lille. Like with Yoro, the only thing you could argue is if they really wanted him, you had to outbid Madrid. But
mate, if Højlund come in and scored 20 league goals, think how mad this is that wouldn't even be a great signing from United, because it'd be like, well, you paid the right amount for that then.
Exactly.
That's the level he had to hit to even for someone to have said, oh, it's worth the money.
He is going to be statistically measured, you know, like Haaland is. I mean, Haaland's his all-round play has improved, but Haaland is going to be a statistically measured striker. It's not like a Suarez, where Suarez might not score and he'll be man of the match, and Aguero could do it, and Rooney could do it. If Haaland doesn't score, he's probably been a 6 out of 10. That's just the way. That's the way these strikers are. And Højlund is fucking me. I mean, he's not even as good as Haaland on the ball. So if he ain't scoring, like you said, but that's it, mate. I am frustrated with it, and I hope that the club go, right, if it is Gyökeres and he's 70 mil, at least I can sit there and go, he has scored 50 goals in 50 games.
Yeah.
Højlund got 10.
Yeah, exactly. At least there's some evidence that you can understand where the fee has come from.
Yeah.
If they're just blindly giving teams a stupid handout, mate, it needs to end this shit. It really does. Yeah. Because it's just getting beyond a joke. And I tell you what, we're all just getting worse and worse. The level of the Prem's getting worse because we all keep getting done by it. Let's not make light of Liverpool have been done a few times. I mean, I was watching that Liverpool game. Mate, you were looking at their front line. I actually like Diaz, right? But let's be honest, they got stung for him. Nunes, let's not even fucking go there. I know Gakpo wasn't playing and he has actually had a decent year, but they've been stung for him as well.
ninth most expensive striker of all time, Nunes.
Dude, you know what I'm saying? So we're all getting done by it, and I think the other leagues now are becoming wise to it. All they've got to do, bro, is put a guy in that has a half-decent season, and some idiots like Tottenham or United or City even will come in and they'll flash the fucking cash.
Look at Bayern did it with Matthias Tell, 10 mil loan fee.
That's insane. Although it was a neat finish that at the
like
weekend.
You said. I missed it. Oh, did he back out first?
It was a beautiful finish, but no, I mean he is not worth a 10 mil loan fee.
I've not seen enough of him, but I mean, it's just like you said, it's just the point of having multiple targets. When Leicester said they want 80 million for Maguire, go fuck you then. I'll go and get another. I'll go and get another centre back. You know what I'm saying? Like when Atalanta wanted 95 million euros. Right, okay, look, we thought he was a bit of a risk. You know, you can keep fucking Højlund. We might come back in a year. No fucker else is paying that. Why are we doing this? Mason Mount, who was paying 60 mil for him with 1 year left. Fuck me. We're stupid.
Mate, do you know what I'd do? Instead of, when like one of these teams like a Leicester asks for 80 million for a centre-back, right? What you should do is keep the money in your pocket and take their fucking scouting system. Because if their scouting system is capable of getting a guy where a stupid team can come in after a few years and give you that much money, I want the fucking scout, not the dosser they're trying to shift for 80 million.
No, you're right, mate. Just before we wrap up, obviously, Rashford made his Villa debut yesterday. I must admit, I didn't really watch it. It was kind of on in the background. I was playing with someone. And I've no real care for Rashford, like I said, and I have sort of I feel a bit angry with some of the top Reds on Twitter tuning in and cheering him on, and I don't know where they've been. I like I said, I mean, I talk about certain players, and I think I must need a new telly, or maybe I need better glasses.
Yeah.
Where have these people been with Rashford? I mean, the off the pitch stuff, the on the pitch stuff. His last game for United, it was like it looked like he was playing pissed on a Sunday morning for his local team. It was a joke in that Europa League, and that ironically has been his last game. And everyone talks about training. I reckon Amorim just watched him on that Thursday night. It was before the derby, and was like, you know what, you can fuck off. He hooked it, didn't even look at him. We've never seen him again. And I reckon the training is probably just a little bit of an excuse. I reckon Amorim was like, you're not playing like that for me. That was it beyond the disgrace. How your effort, your ability on the ball against a shit Europa League team, and now people are going, wish him all the best. Fuck off. Where have you been?
I know, mate, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm totally with you.
And then, not just the fans, I hope they really enjoyed cheering Villa's new number 9 on. Jadon Sancho, we've touched on you, mate. Commented on Rashford's little Villa Insta pic. Freedom, he quoted.
I've not seen that.
From the prison that paid him 350 grand a week for a player who is probably bottom half of the league.
Mate, that Sancho is such a twat.
Yeah, well,
do you know what he was? From when he came through at City, he was causing issues, though, at bloody youth level. He should have never been touched by anyone. He was a wanker. The one thing I will give Ten Hag credit for is that he called him out for being a twat, because that's the only good thing he did do.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Cheers, Eric. I actually do. I am grateful for that. And he showed him up for what he is. And he's such a little fucking run, mate. You share football. You're the most average player I've ever seen. Wow. And he doesn't.
Who has gassed him up? Who has gassed this knobhead up or told him he's good?
Classic. Go to the Bundesliga, rack up stats because they're defending shit. The thing with Jadon Sancho is he plays like he don't want to crease his trainers. He don't even want to get his boots dirty. You know his last action for United, missing a penalty in the Community Shield, and it's these little things with Sancho, and it's like he's just a.
Well, I'll tell you this, Alex. Have you heard of a guy called Marcus Edwards? I believe he was at Lisbon. He's the English winger, and he was at Lisbon. He's weirdly played a couple of appearances.
Oh, sorry, Edwards, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Do you know what? I don't know if he bagged against Tottenham a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because it was like a bit of a. I was like, what is? He sounds like he should be playing in the. He sounds.
Yeah. It is a real weird one, but honestly, he's just signed for Burnley, and he actually scored at the weekend in the FA Cup against Southampton. Funnily enough. But I tell you what, he's a better player. He is a better winger than Jadon Sancho. And anyone wants to tell me otherwise, you tell me what he's better at than Marcus Edwards. Because I'll tell you one thing, he's a winger and he can actually take a fucking man on. Sancho cannot do that.
Yeah. I
No.
just want to tagged my friend in something on Twitter. Uh, it was a Chelsea fan channel, and he was going. All he does, he gets it. He does a little dribble. He turns around. He lays it off. And I tagged my mate Phil in it, and I went,
Yeah.
"This is like my tweets in 2019.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
nothing has changed." And you had the same opinion. In fairness,
Oh, God, yeah.
freedom. Mate, you got paid 350 grand a week for this club because Ed Woodward and Ollie were fucking stupid. You were the luckiest footballer alive that you got that salary. And I tell you what, I don't know if Chelsea have negotiated his wages. It's a compulsory buy, so he's gone. So Chelsea have got to pay the 25 mil. His salary should be 50k a week, probably. I mean, it should be nothing. He's rubbish. He's got one assist in 11 games and no goals.
Mate, they're idiots, Chelsea, though. Like, they put Sterling on like 350k a week.
Oh, God. Oh,
And he's going to be. They're never going to shift in. I reckon, honestly. I reckon they'll put Sancho on 200-300.
No, I don't. I don't know. I don't know if it's been negotiated. He might, like you said, if it has been negotiated, he possibly will be on that.
Well, that little twat wouldn't have left if they were offering 90 grand a week. I can't imagine he'd have gone.
It just makes me laugh that it's, Sancho, freedom. Oh, thank God you've got out with the hell that's Manchester United. You know what fucking hell is? Watching you run up to the fucking right back and turn around and lay it off every single time. That's what hell is, Jaden. Also, the other fucking twat, Rashford. Do you know what's annoying? You've been on 350 grand a week and going out in Belfast and turning up fucking sick the next day to train and then saying how much you love the club. Oh, but it's like a prison.
No, mate, you are bottom.
Fucking 700 grand a week between them, and they've finally got free. Fuck off! I wish you'd have never come.
Well, I'll tell you what, the proof's in the pudding because we'll see if Villa activate the buy clause because I don't think they will. Because I think they're absolutely stacked. And to be fair, they've just loaned in Asensio as well, and he's better. So if they're going to go and get one of them, they'll get Asensio.
Ah, look, I don't
we'll see, mate. But...
His last 4 seasons, he's had one good one. What are we bothered about? He should have.
By the way, just a quick one, bro, on Villa. Did you say you didn't really watch it properly? That game?
Not really, mate. No.
Oh my God, they were unbelievable. Some of the passing.
I mean,
I tell you what, Unai Emery has got them playing unbelievable football. Well, dude, they had a counter-attack. They started at right back. They were one-on-one. They're fucking unbelievable. Their movement off the ball. Yeah. That team runs. I'd love to see their running stats.
They're a dangerous side. Yeah.
Oh, they're unreal, mate. Morgan Rogers was absolutely running the show again as well.
He's brilliant. I mean, Rashford ain't going to play on the left. I know he came on down the middle, didn't he? But Rashford's going to be stuck on that right when Watkins is back. Because he ain't going to play Morgan Rogers number 10 because they've got Tielemans, John McGinn and Onana. That's their midfield 3. He ain't going to drop one of them to go with 4 forwards. He doesn't need to.
So you've even got Jacob Ramsey as well.
Got Ramsey, but I think Rashford will have to go on the right. But we'll see. Look, I won't be tuning in. I don't give a shit. I hope they buy him for 40 mil. They will be exactly. Look at Chelsea. Do you remember in August? Oh, we've unlocked Jadon, and then have you seen him now? All Chelsea fans on Twitter, is Jadon Sancho shit? Yes, he is.
Yeah. We all know, mate. We've known it for years.
1 assist, no goals in fucking 11 games.
Chelsea are a funny old club, aren't they? If you want a transfer and you're a bit of a misfit, you've got half a chance they'll come in for you.
I know. But yeah, right. Let's wrap it. United got Spurs on Sunday. Might be on before then. If not, just a fucking 2 awful teams slugging it out on Super Sunday. And we'll see what happens. I genuinely do not know what to expect. But yeah. Thanks for joining us, Christian. And we will catch you up on the next one. See you later.
Yeah, man. Sounds good.